Have you ever been around people and you've looked at them and you've wondered, man, I wish I could do what they do. I wish I had their skills. I wish I was able to accomplish those things that they've accomplished. Maybe you're a leader right now and you're leading a team and you see other leaders and you wish you had their abilities. You wish you had their skills. Or maybe you're a business owner or a budding entrepreneur and you're trying to figure out, hey, how do I get started? Or how do I become, like this person? Or how do I, get skills like this individual? I want to address something with you today and say this. First off, you're unique. And you've been given skills, you've been given potential already, honestly, to be able to fulfill. In fact, one of the things I've heard, and I was reading this on someone's desk the other day, and I thought this is so important to remember, is that God's gift to us was putting potential inside of us. And our gift back to God is fulfilling that potential. And so today I want to talk about how you can take that potential that's inside of you and be able to fulfill your potential, to be able to do those things that really you want to do. You just don't know exactly how to do it, and fulfill that so that you can make an impact not only in your life, but you're making an impact in other people's lives. And so I want to talk about this idea of, a seed. Because we all know that a seed really has potential inside of it. I was at my house, I have 2 big oak trees in the front yard, and they produced a lot of acorns this year. And so I have acorns all over the ground. And of course, I was thinking about this, that acorn is like a seed. And when that acorn is planted, many times what happens is basically that it begins to sprout. But let me say this, as I talk about a seed today, I want to talk about this seed. And let's just say this acorn as a seed basically looked up at this oak tree and said, I want to grow up and be a big, tall oak tree like you. And the oak tree looks down at the acorn and says, well, you have to be buried. Now let me say this to you today. None of us like the thought process, not of just being buried, that's another thought, but actually having to go down in order to go up. In fact, nature really, one of the laws of nature basically is many times you have to go down in order before you go up. And so this acorn says, hey, I don't want to go down. I don't want to be buried. I don't want to be in this stress-filled area. And here's the interesting thing about that for each and every one of us. When we're trying to accomplish something new, we're trying to learn a new skill, we're trying to fulfill our potential, we're trying to find our purpose, many times it feels like we're under pressure, we feel overwhelmed, we feel in a deep, dark place. And honestly, that's exactly what happens to a seed. What happens? It goes down in the ground. It's in a stress-filled environment. It's dark. There's a mound of dirt that comes over that. It's being pressured. And I don't know about you, but when I've tried something new, or I've tried to learn a new skill, or I've tried to fulfill something that's inside of me that, hey, it's a desire, it's a dream, I feel that pressure many times. But here's the interesting thing about a seed and about you and I today. If we're wanting to become better, we want to reach for those dreams, those goals, those aspirations, to learn another skill, to do something more, what we have to do is we have to cease becoming what we are. We have to stop being that, because what happens with this acorn is that little hard shell around it has to basically come away. It has to be pulled apart. It has to basically come off of that seed, off of that acorn. It has to cease becoming what it is now. And for you and I, it's the same thing. There's things in our lives that we have to cease becoming in order to be something more. I was reading a book not too long ago, and it basically said that many times we have to give up in order to go up. And that is so true in our lives. There's things in our life, if we want more, we want to go up, there's things right now that we have to sacrifice. We have to give up things in order to get something greater. And that's exactly what happens to us. Is exactly what happens to this seed, this acorn, is it says, hey, I've got to give up what I want now for something more. And so what does it do? It begins to what we call germinate. And of course, as it germinates, it grows this root. As that root goes down deeper, what happens then? Well, that little sprout begins to come up. And as it comes up above the ground, okay, it breaks through. And many times in our life, we have what we call breakthrough moments. We have those things in our life where we've been filled with pressure. And this it could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months, it could take years. But if we'll consistently continue to to become better, consistently continue to go towards our dreams and desires, one day we will bust through that lid that is holding us down, those limits that may be holding us down, in order to break through, in order to grow. Now, this is one thing I know, and you and I both understand this as we try to go to something more, or we try to gain something more, we try to grow in areas of our life, is many times there's these little weeds that grow up around us. And what's the purpose of the weeds? It's to choke out many times the seed. It's to choke out many times that root. It takes the nutrients. And the thing is, in our own life, is that we have weeds in our minds many times. We have weeds of doubt. We have weeds of negative feelings. We have weeds of negative attitudes that pop up in our minds. And if we don't pull those weeds out of our mind, they will choke out the seed of possibility, the seed of potential, the seed of what we're trying to accomplish in this life. And so every single day when we wake up, we have to be aware of certain weeds in our life that we need to pull out, whether that be a bad attitude or a thought that is not profiting us, benefiting us, and helping us, then we need to pull those things out. And as we do, we begin to continue to grow. And as we grow, and I'm going to draw a sun. I am not an artist. As we grow, what do? We begin to grow up in what I call a word called phototropic. Phototropic means to grow towards the light, to grow away from the gravity. And if you'll look at the ideal of gravity, the root word of gravity is grave. And here's the thing about a lot of people today. They're in a grave. They're in a rut. You know what a rut is? It's a grave with both ends kicked out. That's what it is. And the thing is that many people are in a grave today and they don't even realize it. They're in a rut. They've tried to accomplish things. They want to accomplish things, but they just can't get out of their comfort zone in their life. And one of the things that you and I have to do in order to gain something more, to reach our desires, to reach our goals. Hey, if you're a leader, hey, how do I lead my team better? First off, I have to grow. I've said this many times before. The hardest person to lead is me. And if I can't lead me, I can't lead other teams. I can't lead other people. And so one of the things for me is growing past those limiting factors in my life so that I can help other people grow and become better. And so therefore, phototropic means to grow towards the light or to grow away from gravity. What is grave? Grave is what we're in. And basically what we're trying to do is grow out of that, which is exactly what the seed is, grows out of the pressure-filled grave that it feels, and basically continues to grow as it takes care of the weeds and goes past the weeds and develops into this big oak tree. I've got to put a little squirrel hole there. But here's the interesting thing. This one root was not the only root of this tree, is it? No. This one root also has little things that grow off of it, other roots that grow off of the root system, and it begins to grow. And if you look at this one root, maybe that one root is a skill level that you have. Maybe it's something you're trying to learn. Maybe it's a skill that you have basically been wanting to do and deciding to do, and you finally, hey, this is the skill I want to do. But that's not the only thing. I need to also have what I call PG. And basically PG for me is personal growth. And so I need to continue to grow in my personal growth every single day in areas of my life, but definitely in where I am in my skill. And as I continue to grow out of this root, that potential, and grow to the tree, when the big winds blow of life, and you understand what I'm talking about, there's always these winds that blow in our life, that if I have a root system that's deep, that I don't get blown over. My dreams, my desires, those things that I'm reaching for, doesn't get blown over. Now what a lot of times happen is if there's not a good enough root system and the winds of life blow, the tree, well, it topples over. But when we begin to really grow deep in our personal growth, and we begin to grow deep in our skills, and we begin to learn new skills, and we begin to understand who we are, what we begin to do is we implement or perform. Implement, and that helps to shore up really what we're trying to become. Now, let me say this in this ideal of growing and this ideal of becoming better is that this one little seed has the potential of becoming so much more. It does. This one seed in it, when it produces, as I told you, I have 2 large oak trees in my yard. It has produced millions, possibly, over the years of these acorns. What does it think about for you today? Your seed of potential. And as you grow your seed and become better, you grow your skill, you grow those things. Not only is it impacting your life, but here's the thing too. That seed has the potential to produce millions of other potential acorns as well. That seed has the potential of creating a forest, does it not? It does. And it's the same thing in your life. You have so much potential inside of you. And it's just about understanding, hey, where do I take that potential and where do I grow to become better? I want to read you a verse, and it's actually in Jeremiah. I'm going to read this for you. It's in Jeremiah chapter 17. I'm going to have to put my glasses on to be able to read it, so bear with me. But in verse 7 it says, "But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him." And then it goes, "They will be like a tree planted by the water, that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when the heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." Now, I don't know about you, but I want to be a tree like that. I want to be a tree that is always bearing fruit. I want to be a tree that even when tough times come, when drought comes, when the winds blow, when the storms of life come, hey, still standing firm in what I know to be doing. I'm still doing those things that, hey, God has set inside of me to do. And so today, I want to say this. I want to challenge you today. What is that one thing that you need to be doing today? Not the 5 things, the 6 things, or the 7 things, but what is that one thing that you said, hey, this is where I can begin today? Maybe it's just in personal growth. Maybe it's just in you being better in certain areas of your life. Maybe it's being better in the ideal of, hey, if I just read, I can gain a little more knowledge. In fact, there's so many opportunities today. I was thinking about this the other day. If we would just take a book that we were interested in reading and just read 2 pages a day, that's it, the minimum, 2 pages a day. I mean, how far in a year, how far would you be able to go? In fact, you may even read 3 pages one day, but we are definitely going to read only the minimum of 2. How much knowledge and how much wisdom and how much understanding would you gain in just that one act? Hey, I hope this added value to you today. And if there's something that you would like to comment, please feel free to do. Like and subscribe my YouTube channel. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.